Most people think being broke means you do not make enough money, but that is not always true. Some people make $30,000 a year and feel broke. Some people make $70,000 a year and feel broke. Some people make $150,000 a year and still feel broke. So maybe the problem is not just the size of the paycheck. Maybe the problem is what happens after the paycheck lands. Think of your financial life like a machine. Money comes in, money goes out. Some money is saved, some money is invested. Some money gets eaten by debt. Some money disappears so quietly you barely remember spending it. And if that machine is broken, more income does not automatically fix it. It just gives the broken machine more money to waste. That is why one raise can become a nicer car payment. One bonus can become a shopping weekend. One new job can become a more expensive apartment, more subscriptions, more takeout, and somehow the exact same stress. So today we are not talking about shame. We are talking about patterns. 7 habits that quietly keep people broke. Not because they are bad people, not because they are lazy, not because they do not care, but because money has rules. And if you never learn the rules, the game feels impossible. So let us make it simple. Habit number 1. You spend from your bank balance. This sounds normal. You open your banking app, you see $500. Your brain says, I have $500. But no, you do not. You might have $500 sitting there today, but your future bills already have claims on that money. Rent may be coming, gas may be coming, groceries may be coming, insurance may be coming, a subscription may hit tonight, your phone bill may hit tomorrow, your credit card minimum may be waiting around the corner like a little financial jump scare. Your bank balance shows what is in the account. It does not show what is already spoken for. That is the trap. A bank balance is not a budget. A bank balance is just a screenshot of one moment. It is like looking at a full gas tank and saying, I can drive anywhere, while ignoring the fact that you still need to get to work all week. The fix is not complicated. Before money comes in, give it a job. Some goes to bills, some goes to food, some goes to savings, some goes to debt, some goes to fun. And yes, fun should be in the plan too, because a budget with no fun is usually a budget people quit. The goal is not to ask, can I afford this right now? The better question is, can my month afford this? That one question can save you from so many bad money decisions, because the broke cycle often starts with spending money that looks available, but was never actually free. Habit number 2, you ignore small leaks. Nobody thinks a $12 subscription is destroying their future, and by itself, it probably is not. But money rarely disappears from one giant hole. Most of the time, it leaks through tiny cracks. A streaming app here, a food delivery there, a random online order, a convenience fee, a late fee, a forgotten trial, a quick coffee, a quick snack, a quick, I deserve this. And to be clear, you are allowed to enjoy your money. Money is not only for surviving, it is also for living. But here is the problem. Small spending becomes dangerous when it becomes invisible. A $12 subscription does not feel like much, but 5 of them is $60 a month. That is $720 a year. 2 $20 food deliveries a week is $40 a week. That is over $2,000 a year. Add a few impulse purchases, a few fees, a few apps you forgot to cancel, and suddenly the money you should have had is gone. And the worst part is, you do not even feel rich while spending it. That is the clue. If you spend money and barely remember the purchase, that may be a leak. So do this. Look at your last 30 days of transactions, not to judge yourself, just to study the pattern. Circle anything you forgot about. Circle anything that did not improve your life. Circle anything you bought because you were tired, bored, stressed, lonely, or trying to feel better for 5 minutes. That is where the money is hiding. You do not need to cut everything. You just need to stop funding things you do not actually value. Because wealth is not built by never spending. Wealth is built by spending on purpose. Habit number 3. You upgrade your lifestyle before you upgrade your foundation. This one feels like success. You get a raise. You upgrade the car. You get a better job. You upgrade the apartment. You start making more money. You upgrade the clothes, the restaurants, the trips, the phone, the furniture, the weekend plans. And from the outside, it looks like progress. But behind the scenes, nothing changed. Your income went up, but your expenses chased it. That is lifestyle creep. Lifestyle creep is not loud. It does not kick down the door and steal your wallet. It walks in smiling and says, "You earned this." And maybe you did. But here's the part people miss. If every raise becomes a new bill, you are not getting richer. You are just making your broke life more expensive. There is a huge difference between looking successful and building wealth. Looking successful often means higher payments. Building wealth means more options. Looking successful says, "Look what I can afford." Building wealth says, "Look what I no longer have to worry about." So when your income increases, your first upgrade should not be your lifestyle. Your first upgrade should be your financial system. Increase your emergency fund. Increase your debt payments. Increase your investing. Increase your breathing room. Then upgrade your lifestyle with what is left. A simple rule is this: when you get more money, wait 90 days before making any big lifestyle change. For 90 days, live almost the same way you were living before. Let the extra money build savings, pay down debt, start investments, create space. Because if you can keep the raise before life eats it, that raise can change your future. But if you spend it before it settles, you may never feel it. Habit number 4. You let debt rent your paycheck before you get it. Debt is not just money you owe. Debt is future income that already belongs to someone else. Before your paycheck even lands, the car company is waiting. The credit card company is waiting. The personal loan is waiting. The buy now, pay later app is waiting. The furniture payment is waiting. The phone payment is waiting. And every one of them says, "Thank you, I will take my piece." That is why debt feels so heavy. It does not just cost money. It removes choices. You may want to save, but the payment is due. You may want to invest, but the payment is due. You may want to leave a job you hate, but the payment is due. Debt turns your future paycheck into yesterday's purchase. Now, not all debt behaves the same. A mortgage is different from a credit card. A business loan is different from a shopping balance. A student loan is different from a payday loan. But high-interest consumer debt is one of the fastest ways to stay financially stuck. Because interest does not care how you feel. Interest works every day. If it works for you, it can build wealth. If it works against you, it can keep you running in place. So the first step is visibility. List every debt: the balance, the interest rate, the minimum payment, the due date. Do not keep it in your head. Debt feels like a monster when it is vague. It becomes a math problem when it is written down. Then pick your attack. The snowball method says pay the smallest balance first. That gives you quick wins. The avalanche method says pay the highest interest rate first. That usually saves more money. Both can work. The best method is the one you will actually follow long enough to finish. But there is one rule that matters more than the method. Stop adding new debt while you are trying to escape old debt. Because paying off debt while creating new debt is like trying to drain a bathtub while the faucet is still running. Turn off the water first, then drain the tub. Habit number 5. You have no buffer between you and life. Life is not expensive only because of bills. Life is expensive because of surprises. A tire goes flat. A tooth starts hurting. The car makes a strange noise. A child needs something. Hours get cut. A family emergency happens. The rent goes up. The phone breaks. Something always happens. And when you do not have an emergency fund, every surprise becomes debt. Then the debt becomes a payment. Then the payment reduces your cash flow. Then the next surprise is even harder. That is how one bad weekend becomes 6 bad months. An emergency fund is not exciting. Nobody gets applause for having $1,000 sitting quietly in a savings account. But that boring money is powerful. It buys time. It buys calm. It buys the ability to make a decision without panicking. And when money is tight, calm is underrated. Start small. Do not obsess over saving 6 months of expenses immediately. Start with $100, then $500, then $1,000, then 1 month of basic expenses. Then keep going. The first goal is not to become rich from savings. The first goal is to stop every small emergency from becoming a financial crisis. And keep your emergency money boring. Not invested in something risky. Not locked away where you cannot reach it. Not tied up in a trend. Emergency money has one job: to be there. That is it. It is not trying to impress anyone. It is not trying to grow fast. It is not trying to be clever. It is the financial seatbelt. You hope you do not need it, but when life hits the brakes, you will be glad it is there. Habit number 6. You wait to invest until you feel rich. This is one of the most expensive habits. People say, I will invest when I make more money. Then they make more money and life gets more expensive. So they say, I will invest when things calm down. But things rarely calm down. Then 1 year passes, then 5 years, then 10. And one day they look back and realize they were not waiting for the perfect time. They were just waiting. Investing sounds intimidating because people make it sound like a secret language. Stocks, ETFs, index funds, dividends, retirement accounts, risk tolerance, asset allocation, expense ratios. It sounds like you need a finance degree just to begin. But the beginner version is much simpler. Saving protects money. Investing gives money a chance to grow. You need both. If all your money is spent, you stay stuck. If all your money is saved but never invested, inflation slowly weakens it. If some of your money is invested consistently over a long time, now your money has a chance to work while you sleep. That is the key. You do not need to start huge. You need to start repeatable. $25 a week, $50 a month, a small percentage of every paycheck. The amount matters less than the habit at the beginning, because the first win is not becoming rich overnight. The first win is becoming the kind of person who pays the future first. And yes, investing has risk. Markets go up, markets go down. Some years feel amazing, some years feel terrible. That is why you learn before you gamble. That is why you understand what you are buying. That is why you avoid hype. That is why you do not put rent money into risky investments. This is not personal financial advice. This is the machinery. If you spend everything, nothing grows. If you save only, you protect but may not build enough. If you invest wisely and consistently, with time on your side, you give your money a second job. And for most people, that second job matters. Habit number 7. You only play defense with money. Cutting expenses is important, very important. If your money is leaking, you need to patch the leaks. But cutting has a limit. You can cancel every subscription. You can cook every meal. You can stop shopping. You can say no to everything. And yes, that may help. But at some point, you cannot shrink your way into the life you want. You also need to grow. That does not mean chasing every side hustle on the internet. It does not mean buying a course from someone standing in front of a rented sports car. It means building income power. Learn a skill. Improve your communication. Get better at sales. Learn a useful software tool. Build a portfolio. Ask for a raise with evidence. Apply for better jobs. Start a small service. Create something valuable. Become harder to ignore. Because wealth has two sides, defense and offense. Defense is budgeting, saving, avoiding dumb debt, cutting waste. Offense is earning more, building skills, investing, creating assets. If you only play defense, life can start to feel small. If you only play offense, you may earn more and waste more. But when you do both, something changes. You cut $200 of waste, then you earn an extra $500. Now you have $700 of monthly momentum. That can build an emergency fund. That can attack debt. That can start investing. That can create breathing room. And breathing room is where better decisions begin. So let us put all 7 habits together. You spend from your bank balance instead of planning the full month. You ignore small leaks because each one feels harmless. You upgrade your lifestyle before your foundation. You let debt claim your paycheck before you get to use it. You have no emergency buffer between you and life. You wait to invest until you feel rich. And you only focus on cutting instead of also growing. None of these habits looks dramatic in the moment. That is why they are dangerous. They feel normal. They feel small. They feel justified. But repeated long enough, normal becomes expensive. The good news is, you do not need to fix your entire financial life today. That is where people get overwhelmed. They watch a video, feel motivated, try to change everything, burn out in 3 days, and go right back to the old pattern. Do not do that. Pick one habit. Just one. If you do not know where your money goes, review your last 30 days. If subscriptions are leaking money, cancel one today. If debt is stressing you out, list every balance. If you have no savings, move $10. Not because $10 will save your life, but because it proves you can start. If you have never invested, learn one beginner term today. Index fund, compound interest, retirement account. Start there. Small actions matter because they change the identity. You stop being someone who avoids money. You become someone who looks at it, You stop being someone who hopes the month works out. You become someone who gives the month a plan. You stop being someone who says, "I will start when I have more." You become someone who starts with what is already here. And here is the slightly more technical truth. Your financial life has 4 major parts: cash flow, protection, growth, and behavior. Cash flow is money in versus money out. Protection is your emergency fund and insurance against chaos. Growth is investing, skills, income, and assets. Behavior is the operating system underneath all of it. If behavior is broken, cash flow leaks. If protection is missing, emergencies become debt. If growth is ignored, money never gets ahead. And if debt is too heavy, your future income is already rented out before it arrives. That is why building wealth is not one magic trick. It is a system. A simple system, but still a system. Spend less than you earn. Keep some of the gap. Protect that gap from emergencies. Use part of it to destroy bad debt. Use part of it to buy or build assets. Increase your income power over time. Repeat longer than your old habits want you to. That is the game. Not looking rich, not pretending, not flexing, not chasing every trend. Real wealth is quiet at first. It looks like checking your account before the damage happens. It looks like canceling the thing you forgot you were paying for. It looks like driving the same car a little longer. It looks like paying extra on a credit card. It looks like saving the first $100. It looks like investing a small amount before you feel ready. It looks like learning a skill after work when nobody is clapping. And then one day, the quiet work becomes visible. You have less panic, more options, more control, more confidence. That is what money is really supposed to buy. Not just things, options. So here is your challenge. In the next 24 hours, do one money move. 1. Cancel one leak. List one debt. Move a small amount into savings. Review your last 10 transactions. Set one bill reminder. Learn one investing term. Ask one question you have been avoiding. Do something that tells your money, "I am paying attention now." Because you do not become wealthy by accident. You become wealthy by building habits that make wealth more likely. I am Max from MoneyWise Max. Simple money moves, smarter wealth builds. And if you want money to finally make sense, subscribe and watch the next video on how to save your first $1,000 without feeling broke.